My brother is secretly rich, but lives like a pauper. I always suspected that something was off with my brother. He had been wearing the same worn-out shoes since Clinton was president and was still using a button phone like the internet had never been invented. If you asked him why he didn't buy himself normal things, he would just shrug and mumble something about modesty and practicality. Yeah, right. I wouldn't have thought much of it, but a couple of years ago, I got solid proof that this so-called pauper wasn't so poor after all. The shocking discovery. It all started when I accidentally saw his banking app on his phone screen. He thought he had turned the screen off, but I managed to catch a glimpse of his balance. Let's just say, there were so many zeros my brain nearly short-circuited. "Dude, do you have 7 figures in your account?" He panicked like a schoolboy caught with a Playboy magazine. "It's, investments." "What kind of investments? You live in an apartment where the kettle is older than me." He just waved me off and went to make himself some instant noodles. The suspicion grows. After that, I started paying closer attention to him. And soon, I realized that this man was a walking paradox. On the one hand, he took the bus, ate the cheapest canned beans, and wore clothes that seemed to have been inherited from the dinosaurs. On the other hand, one day I stumbled upon his messages, where he was casually discussing buying stocks for a 6-figure sum. Another time, he offered to pay for our mom's surgery in full, without even asking how much it cost. "Where do you get this kind of money?" I couldn't hold it in. He just shrugged. "Made a little here and there." Here and there? Is that the new way of saying, "I bought half the stock market"? The experiment. I decided to test his reaction. The next day, I came over and started a conversation. "Hey, can you lend me a couple of thousand until payday? Things are tough right now." He looked at me with deep sorrow in his eyes. "I'm kind of tight on money myself." Oh, come on. This man had just been discussing a real estate purchase in the city center, but he couldn't spare a couple of thousand for me. I clenched my teeth and decided to dig deeper. The revelation. The real answer came unexpectedly. We were sitting at his place, if you could call that shack a home, when suddenly he got a call. Yes, transfer the remaining 500,000. Okay, let the lawyers handle the paperwork." I nearly choked on my beer. 500,000 what? He sighed, realizing there was no point in hiding anymore, and finally told me the truth. Turns out he had started investing about 10 years ago. Back then, he bought shares in several startups just for fun. One of them suddenly took off. Then he kept investing, buying real estate, cryptocurrency, and funding various projects. And now, he was a multimillionaire. "But why do you live like a pauper?" He looked at me as if I had just asked why fish swim. Why would I change anything? I like it this way. You live in an apartment where you have to borrow toilet paper. But at least I don't have to worry about people coming to me just for money. And that's when it hit me. This cunning guy had spent his whole life pretending to be poor so that no one would bother him for money. Honestly, I kind of respect him for it. But seriously, he could at least buy himself a new kettle. I stared at him, and he, in turn, stared at his battered old kettle, which looked like it had served in the Korean War. "Are you serious?" I asked. "You have millions, but you're still using this piece of scrap metal?" He shrugged. "It still works." "That's not an argument. By that logic, why don't you wear a bear pelt and rub sticks together to make fire?" He smirked but didn't even reach for his phone to order a normal kettle. It seemed he was deeply convinced that his frugal lifestyle was his personal form of Zen, and that his millions were just a bonus he didn't necessarily need to use. But I wasn't giving up. "What if I break your kettle?" He gave me a cold, disdainful look. "Then I'll boil water in a pot." I rolled my eyes. A double life. The more I dug, the more amazed I was. It turned out he was living a double life. On weekdays, he was just a regular guy, taking the bus, buying discounted bread, and getting annoyed if he was given change in bills instead of coins. Coins are more convenient. But on weekends. I accidentally stumbled upon his secret Instagram. And what did I see? This man was sailing on a yacht in Italy. Not in some budget-friendly Turkey or Egypt, Italy, and in the company of people whose last names clearly appeared on the Forbes lists. "Is this you?" I shouted, shoving my phone in his face. "Yeah. You party with billionaires but live like a hobo." He shrugged. "They don't care what I wear. They value my mind, not diamond-studded watches." I sat down. No, really, I physically couldn't keep standing. A plan to fix the situation. I realized he was incurable, but I felt sorry for him. Yes, that's right. A man with millions clearly needed help, so I devised a cunning plan. One fine morning, he woke up to find that his kettle was gone. In its place stood a brand new, shiny model with adjustable temperature settings. He silently looked at me. "I knew you'd do this." "Get used to it, bro. You're a rich man with a rich man's kettle now." He sighed but didn't protest. That meant I had broken through his defenses. Next came a new couch, then a proper winter coat, then a modern smartphone. He resisted, but I was persistent. "You don't have to spend millions, but for God's sake, at least stop torturing yourself." And you know what? A couple of months later, he suddenly admitted, "The new kettle, it's actually really convenient." I smiled. "Told you so." And sure, he still takes the bus, still picks the cheapest groceries, but at least now he has a decent couch, a warm coat, and a phone that won't die if he drops it in a puddle. I consider this my greatest victory. But the story didn't end there. Oh no. The more I uncovered about his strange financial philosophy, the clearer it became. My brother was a financial ninja. He wasn't hiding his wealth just for fun. He had a well-thought-out strategy. One evening, over dinner, yes, it was those same canned beans, I decided to ask him directly, "If I hadn't found out about your millions, would you have just kept living like this?" He nodded. "Of course." "But why?" He pondered, poking at his beans with a fork as if weighing whether or not to share his great wisdom with me. "You see, most rich people you know are actually poor." Do you hear yourself? I nearly choked. "Are you telling me that a guy with a $10,000 Rolex is poorer than you?" "Yes, because his wealth is just an illusion. Loans, debts, showing off. They have to prove they have money, or no one will take them seriously. But I don't need that." I was silent, because, damn it, he was right. "So you just don't want people to use you?" "Exactly. The moment people find out you have money, they start seeing you as a walking ATM. I thought about that. "But still, why did you agree to a new kettle but keep riding the bus?" He smirked. "I can afford comfort, but I won't let money control me." Damn. That was wise. I decided to put him to the test. The next day, I bought 2 business-class tickets and offered to take him on a weekend trip to Europe, just for fun. Nope, he refused. Why? Economy class flies to the same Europe. I rolled my eyes. Fine. Then let's buy you a new car, just for convenience. Why? I live in a city with buses. But you can afford convenience. I can, but why spend if I'm already comfortable? I was starting to worry. What if I give you an expensive gift, like a watch? He smirked. I'd sell it and reinvest the money. I grabbed my head. What is wrong with you? Nothing, bro. We just see money differently. I decided to play hardball. For his birthday, I gathered all our friends and family and asked them to chip in. We bought him something special, a private office in an elite co-working space. It was the perfect place to work. Quiet, free coffee, comfy chairs, fast internet. He looked at the gift, nodded, and said, "Cool, thanks." I froze. You're actually going to keep it?" "Of course, it's convenient." "So you're not going to sell it?" "Why would I? I like working in a comfortable space." And that's when it hit me. He wasn't against comfort. He just hated spending money without a good reason. He didn't need luxury, but if something genuinely made life better, he would use it. A few months passed. My brother still takes the bus, but now he wears a good winter coat. He still saves money on food, but at least he drinks quality coffee. He still avoids flashy things, but if he needs something that genuinely improves his life, he gets it. And you know what? I realized that maybe he's right. True wealth isn't just numbers in a bank or expensive things. True wealth is being able to do what you want without proving anything to anyone. And my brother had already been living by that principle for years. I had to put an end to this. I couldn't just let my brother continue living in his millionaire but still poor mode. So I came up with the ultimate experiment. I told him I had found the perfect investment in himself. "Look," I said, laying a piece of paper in front of him. "Here's a list of things you can buy without hurting your budget." He took the paper and scanned it. "A new couch?" He raised an eyebrow. "Well, yeah, you do complain about back pain. A $100 pillow? Because yours looks like it was tortured in a medieval dungeon. A vacation? When was the last time you took time off?" He thought for a moment. 5 years ago. Exactly. He was silent for a minute, then another. "These aren't expenses," I concluded. "They're investments in your quality of life." He sighed. "All right, I nearly choked on my coffee." "What?" "All right, let's give it a try. Holy rusty kettles," he agreed. And so, a week later, my brother had a new couch. Then he bought a proper mattress and a pillow. Then, warm boots, not from the discount rack. And a month later, we were sitting on a plane to Greece. "How's it feel?" I asked as he looked out the window. "Comfortable," he admitted. "And?" He shrugged. "I still don't like spending money." I laughed. "Yeah, you'll never be a big spender." He smirked. "And I don't want to be." 6 months passed. My brother still takes the bus, but he no longer freezes in old boots. He still invests, but now he allows himself good coffee and comfortable furniture. And you know what? He's still a millionaire, but at least now he's a millionaire with a decent kettle.